It is 8:38 p.m. right now. The release of Snowbreak is literally right around the corner. It launches at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for me, which is an hour and 20 minutes from now. Thus, I figured since I have access to the game a little bit earlier, I would take a moment here to jump into it, record my initial impressions. This is based purely off of the closed beta test. I played dozens of hours with my wife, Mrs. Stix. We thoroughly enjoyed the game, but I'm gonna give you guys a rundown of everything you can expect going in. Before we jump in though, I urge you guys to go ahead and check out other videos in the Player Pass series. I do this for every upcoming and every newly released gacha game. Now, I did a video actually earlier today going over the alterations made, the features that were overhauled, the inclusion of the new base feature, the character model changes. This game, it looks better than ever. Snowbreak is a very narrative-driven game. There are a lot of characters. A lot of it is actually voiced in English. The narrative is locked behind chapters. There are, at present, a grand total of 10 chapters to play through. There are varying different difficulty modes. The game itself features a variety of different missions per chapter. This is nothing new. This is what we all expect. I have every single character unlocked, every single waifu. So I'm actually going to replace the existing characters with my ultimate super powerful team. I have a sniper, an SMG user, and a shotgun user. Typically I'd go for an assault rifle, but I feel like Life is just really OP. I know she's probably not. I know there are gonna be people that contest that opinion. They're like, but this character is better. And I'm not disagreeing with that, but from my experience during beta, I feel like Life was actually a very powerful character. The game is a third-person shooter. What this means is that you essentially run around the mission once deployed with 3 different units. You eliminate waves of different enemies.
I am the vehicle of their absolution.
Fully loaded.
I mean, that's fascinating. I mean, you weren't a very effective vehicle of absolution, if I'm being honest.
Quickly as possible, folks.
Each waifu actually has a completely different use. For example, I know I'm literally whiffing every one of these shots, but I chose to have a sniper, I chose the SMG, and I chose the shotgun. I choose the shotgun option because that allows for me to break through enemy defenses and take down oh my god, she's wearing no pants.
I should think so.
Oh, okay, wow. Holy.
Always more work.
Sorry, I'm a grown adult. So the shotgun is useful for if enemies actually make it close range to you, but more than that, it's also useful for breaking through shields, armor, taking down really heavily armored or powerful units. As you can tell, not very effective long range, but well, actually, it's pretty effective long range. I don't know what I'm saying. I don't know what I'm talking about. I can literally just use Fenrir and just massacre everyone long range. I'm literally a long range sniper shotgun user. That is crazy. I don't recall the shotgun being that powerful.
Perfection, right?
I don't think anyone's gonna argue that point. You deploy units, you run around, you kill a bunch of different enemies, you fulfill your objectives. That's the gameplay loop. That comprises pretty much each mission. There are missions where you have to go up against really powerful, large bosses. I did that during the beta. So they are very difficult. They require actual understanding of not only your character, but your character's abilities. Speaking of your character's... Dude, did she just pull it out of her booba? Speaking of your characters, they each have their own unique abilities. They also have their own unique class archetype. So as an example here, some of the characters can heal. Some of them have powerful AoEs. Some of them have very powerful boosts and buffs and single target damage abilities. So you're gonna want to... That's just really distracting. You're gonna want to prioritize specific group compositions. I've never been fond of, meta builds, meta team composition, so I always just go for whichever waifus I think are the hottest. I have every character unlocked, so I can realistically play whoever I want. The characters themselves are absolutely gorgeous, by the way. Like, so many of them are just so so stunning. It's unbelievable. Beyond their skills, they have manifestations. These are upgrades that you use your dupe pieces on. You have weapons. The weapons come in many shapes, many sizes, many forms, and many rarities. I believe I got 5-star legendary weapons for each of my characters. You can upgrade your weapon. You can upgrade their individual level. You can modify your weapon. You can add modifications directly onto your weapon. I don't have anything right now to actually add to it because I'm very early in the game right now. I had to unfortunately start everything from scratch again because the beta ended and my progress was actually linked to the beta test in specific. Now the gacha itself right now is pretty good. There's a battle assembly banner that is currently ongoing, which guarantees you a maximum rarity hero at 50 pity. You can obtain max rarity heroes before hitting that 50 pity, and that will ultimately reset your pity back down. I think I've obtained 3 max rarity heroes thus far and have reset my pity 3 times consecutively. There is a limit to how many pulls are available in that banner though, so I guess you gotta be really lucky. Now the normal average banners are set to a pity of 80. That's honestly not bad. It's not great, but it is, I like, better than some of its competition. There is a base feature in the game. You unlock it at chapter 3, mission 6. So I haven't actually unlocked this yet, but I do have footage of the base from the Chinese version of the game. This is what we can expect.
A reason to fight?
There are rooms for every single waifu. You navigate on over to your waifu's room. You can interact with your waifus in there, and you know, people are gonna get really fucking weird when it comes to interacting with our waifus. We don't know the extent of the interactions we can do. You know, things are gonna get really, really suggestive, either with regards to the characters or the players. I think it is unusually rare to offer players the option of actually going to visit your husbandos or your waifus and having them displayed in real 3D, not as some little chibi characters that kind of just like bob up and down. These are actual character models that have unique movements, that have fully realized bodies that you can interact with. This is something that other gacha games are severely missing. I really, really look forward to unlocking that. I'm hoping to display this on stream later today, or later tomorrow rather, and all week, because I'm gonna be streaming this game every day this week. So if you haven't already, go ahead and follow me over on Twitch, join me there. And additionally, I would also like to take a moment here to thank our incredible patrons over on Patreon who allow for me to continue to do regular videos like this every single day. You guys are the reason why I get to access games like this earlier. Now, outside of the main story, there are numerous other game modes available. I don't have them unlocked here at present, but one of them is the option of engaging large bosses with other players. We did it with another person, multiple different people. Actually, they're enormous monsters. They're in a secluded area. You get a bunch of different items, a bunch of different resources for killing them. Then there is the cooperative multiplayer content. That's probably some of the most fun content because Mrs. Stix and I love playing video games together as a group, as a unit. Admittedly, we had a lot of fun playing the co-op. You can go in with up to 3 different people. You can only use one character, so one of us has to go healer, the other 2 go DPS, or all 3 of you go DPS and hope to God you don't die or take excessive amounts of damage. I think adding in fully functional co-op content is a great addition to the game and is something that other games are missing. I don't know. I think multiplayer in video games adds additional layers and additional depth to what is already good, what is already fun, because being able to do and experience and consume content with your friends is not always, but typically more enjoyable than just doing it by yourself. Now, one of the overhauls that were made between the beta and full release is that you can actually interact with the environment. You have the option of utilizing cover. What the fuck is shooting me? So before, you'd kind of just, this would be how you'd react. You'd walk here and be like, well, I'll just get shot now. But now you have full cover, usage of cover, which makes things so much easier. This is, I honestly, I couldn't believe that that wasn't a feature included to begin with, and that this had to be added after an extensive amount of feedback. But not just that, you can actually fully jump over and interact with every environmental object, whether it be blocks, whether it be cars, whether it be pillars, steps. There are so many different objects that you can actually interact with. It provides you more purpose to having these objects actually appear in the game, rather than them just being there for aesthetic purposes. Now, there are various different stores you can go to. There are various different things you can buy. I feel like I don't really need to touch on those because they're unimportant. You'll get to see what the shops, what the stores have to offer yourself merely by playing the game. There are various different events going on. Again, these are things that you'll be able to experience once you get in there. They're not something that I necessarily need to talk about. I do want to note though, once you complete chapter 5, you do get a free SSR character. I believe that is this event right here. After clearing stage 512, you get to pick any of these characters. Life, Wild Hunt, Marion Swift, Fenny, was I calling her Fenrir? Whoops. Fenny Coronet, Yao Winter Solstice, or Frisha Hush. So choose your character wisely. I do appreciate that they are offering us a free SSR character, a max rarity character, merely by just continuing through the game. Not enough gacha games to give us maximum rarity units, and it is alarmingly distracting. But that is Snowbreak. This is what you have to look forward to. It is an incredibly fun game. It has really good third-person action combat. It has some decent quality voice acting. It has absolutely gorgeous characters. I mean, you can't look at these characters and not think they're absolutely stunning. There's honestly a lot to do, a lot of multiplayer content, and really no other games that provide that third-person shooting perspective. They're all either action games or strategy games, or something like, I don't know, like PUBG Mobile, which really isn't anything like this. I feel like this is one of the rare instances where a studio has pushed out a game that is genuinely unique and good. And I cannot wait to get in and stream this tomorrow, and I cannot wait to get in and play some of it. I mean, not tonight, because I'm gonna be streaming it live, but I will be playing it all week, and I hope to see you guys there. Now, if Snowbreak is not a game that you're interested in, absolutely no problem. I got you covered with 2 different videos on screen right now. One being a list of other games in this series, the other being a list of games that you need to check out right now.